Hi everyone, I'm David Griffin,
And I'm Michael Medina.
and we're here to bring you this week's review of Arrow, Season 2, Episode 20, Scene Red. Wow, this one had a big ending.
Yes, it
But
did.
we're going to get to that last, because
Yeah.
that's the big thing we want to talk about. So Scene Red, is alluding to, the Red Hood, that all you have to do is just do this, and
That's
you
it.
are hidden. Hey, even Felicity can't catch you on camera. It's like, oh, that must be why he wears a red hood. It's just
I like that they
it's
threw that joke
so
in there.
stealth to wear a red hood. I mean, forget games like Splinter Cell, anything Tom Clancy. Just get a red hood. No one sees
Where'd he
you.
go? Where'd he go?
So this episode was interesting. I mean, we got to kind of talk about it piece by piece because you could look at the end and be like, oh, snap.
Yeah.
It's great. But to be
Yeah.
honest, like it kind of started off, I was like, okay, where's all this going? No island.
No.
And so we got a flashback to a longer blonde-haired Moira and a wig, on Ollie. So
A bad wig.
A bad wig. So what do you think about that?
Well, as a whole, I thought the episode, it started off kind of slow for
Right.
me. I thought it's I don't want to say it was filler, but it's just
Right.
kind of filling in certain holes, like
Yeah.
with following Moira and her race to be mayor. But then again, we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
It ended with a bang. I
Oh,
think
it did, yeah.
kind of made up for all
Big,
that. Because
yeah.
then, like you said, you're wondering where all this was going, and then you kind of see that at the end. But
Mm-hmm.
all in all, I thought it was a solid episode. I thought the flashbacks, again, it was one of those things where like, where's this going exactly?
Right.
But then it does serve a purpose, and I thought it was well done. And
It was
I
very
enjoyed
well
them.
done. Yeah, the episode wrapped up very well. I thought it was very touching, especially, which we'll get to in a little bit. Again, it's still Arrow, so our boy
Yeah.
Diggle's not doing much. He was hungry.
Thank goodness.
Gonna get some food,
No big belly
belly
burger.
burger though.
Not
Can't go
this
there
time.
anymore. Can't go there anymore. So, let's see, who else do we see? I mean, this was a very Moira-centric episode.
Well,
And
yeah,
also,
Also, our villain
Yes,
this particular
yes.
episode, which was Roy.
Roy, yeah, Roy.
Which starts off with him. Obviously, it takes place, I'm assuming a few days or whatever
Yeah.
after they rescued him and stuff. So he's on a table. They're trying to figure out what's wrong with him, and then all of a
Trying
sudden
to
he
find a
just
cure.
kind of springs to life, and then makes it a point to put his hood on first.
Yeah, you gotta put the hood on. It's important to be stealth during all that. You have to be
Absolutely.
stealth. Yeah.
But obviously, the Mikuru is just reacting in a negative way right now, and to a point where he just can't control it. It's not even him anymore.
Yeah.
And then
whereas
he
like
starts,
Deathstroke, well, Slade he still has issues. He sees,
Wait, he's seeing
Shadow. He seems like he can control it a little bit more, even
Yeah.
though he still has issues. He still has issues. But yeah, Roy is definitely off the deep end.
Yeah,
Bad.
Roy's just, he's not in the same person. He can barely even speak. But so he attacks everyone and stuff, and just kind of goes on a rampage of the city. Kills a police officer.
Yeah.
He's just causing all kinds of havoc. And basically to the point where Sarah, and this is where it gets kind of interesting,
Yeah.
because we saw, and he makes a reference to this as well last season, how in the early days of him coming back from the island, he was basically just like kill first, ask
Right,
questions
yep,
later.
yep.
You know what I mean? And he's grown a lot since then, and you see that Sarah's still that type of person. And
But
she's,
she might always be that.
No,
she may
yeah.
not go to his, because I think Felicity said, well, maybe she'll come to your side. I'm like, maybe not. She was also with the League of Assassins. She's a little bit of a harder edge, which leads us to her departure and her telling Ollie that I gotta go see an old friend. Or no, sorry, telling Sin.
Yeah.
Talking to Sin. Sin shows up. I mean, she kind of just pops in and out. She's not really that important, I don't think. But anyway,
Yeah.
Sin shows up and says, where are you going? It's like, I gotta see an old friend. I think it might be Nisa.
I
How
think you
cool.
might be right. I
Maybe.
mean,
she could have
that's-
other friends.
She could.
But that girl,
She
Nisa, was a
could.
friend, if you know what I'm saying.
She was a really
real
good friend.
if you know what I'm saying. So I think she might be going to see her, which
No.
may bring her back to the end.
Yeah, I mean, because first of all, I just thought she was a great character, a great addition to the
Yeah.
show. Maybe we might not see her this season, but I hope at least next year at some
Right.
point they'll bring her in because she was great.
Right. And I guess we'll have no. First, before we go into the end, 'cause that's the big stuff. Let's talk about Ollie's child.
Yeah.
So, which we did a little research. He does have a kid,
Well, yeah, he had,
Yeah.
well, there's Connor.
Connor. Yeah.
And at first I didn't quite put two and two together,
Right.
but then, with like the one night stand and, the mother going away and stuff,
Right.
I just was like, that seems familiar.
Yeah, that's got to be in there. Yeah, that's a story.
And so, I mean, it's not confirmed, obviously,
No.
but it kind of makes sense.
Right. I don't think
You
they've
know.
cast Connor yet, but I mean, he does have a son in the comic books.
Yeah.
This kid now would be 7 years old. I'm assuming, give or take, So, I mean, I'm curious to see if we're actually going to see Connor. Maybe not this season. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, here's your baby. Like, what? That ain't
Yeah.
my kid. But, I mean,
What?
yeah, maybe next
You are
season.
not the father.
You are not, yeah, maybe next season.
Yeah, and maybe even not even next season. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was like, I don't know, like maybe a couple years down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a little bit older. Maybe he could kind of like speed up time a little bit. Like
7 seems like
TV
he's getting
time.
away, yeah.
Yeah, he'll come back at like 15 or something.
I mean,
like
unless
that.
they could make him like into a Damien.
Yeah,
Which would be,
and that would be
yeah, that would be
really cool.
That would be interesting. Like made him like because it basically is Batman.
Pretty much.
I mean, the way he talks, like, you
Yeah.
have failed this city. I mean, Arrow doesn't do that in the comics. So this is basically Batman. But
Yeah.
again, let's go into the end, the big part that we didn't see coming because the episode was ending. They're in that limo, they're driving, and they're just like having a little family moment. I'm like, okay, this episode was okay.
Well, first of all, let's not forget leading up to that scene, and this is kind of
Yeah.
big,
Oh, yeah.
Moira reveals to Oliver that she
Yeah.
actually
Right.
knows his
Right.
secret. She knows that he's, and that's huge.
That was
That
huge.
she
That
knows
was
he's
huge.
Arrow.
I
She
forgot
says
about
that
that,
she's
yeah.
actually been knowing for
Yeah.
like a year or so, something
Right.
like that. And that was huge, which, you know, right there should have been a giveaway
Right.
that something was going to happen.
And
you
right
know?
when she was about to tell the secret about Malcolm Merle, like, there's one more thing I need to tell you. Boom.
Boom.
And then, like, we kind of thought, like, you know, you even said, like, you know, screen, you know,
I
scene,
assumed that was
and,
it,
you know,
a little
and
cliffhanger.
that would have been it. And then, like, it's going to go. But, like, you know, it kept going. You know, there was, hallucinating and waking up, and you see Oliver
Absolutely.
looking. And what I didn't expect is Slade now is playing hardball. He was just
Absolutely.
planting kind of verbal seeds. You know, he didn't hurt Thea.
Yeah.
He didn't hurt Laurel. You know, he went and visited them and stuff, but didn't hurt them. Now
Yeah.
he was getting physical.
Well, he did always say, too, that basically he was going to have to experience that same type of
Right,
pain. And that's one
right.
thing I love about Slade and just Manny
Yeah.
Burnett in general, because
Yeah.
he's just, I feel like, completely killing this character. He's
Yeah, he's
amazing
good.
on this show.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's basically the same scenario that Ivo put Oliver in like 5-6 years ago on the island, and I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the tension building up, and again with those flashbacks with Oliver's mom and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and all this stuff that we saw her go through, kind of covering up for Oliver and
Right.
his, you know, unplanned pregnancy and stuff, just kind of shows the kind of what lengths show go
She loves
to.
her kids. She's got some past. She has a past.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of sad that she's gone.
Yeah.
I actually, not that I want anybody to die.
Yeah.
You know, good Lord, after our Game of Thrones review with Dennis and I did, I think people think I'm like pro like abuse or something. So it's I got to be careful what I say. But it's like what I'm saying is I don't want anybody to die. But at the same point, I think Moira, though her mayoral campaign wasn't that interesting,
yeah.
she has a character because she knew Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
At least she used his name.
Yeah.
She used his name enough to scare Malcolm Merlin away,
Absolutely.
who's a powerful guy. Whereas Thea, again, like Laurel, is kind of just becoming the damsel in distress.
Yeah, I feel
She's
like
not really
they're.
doing much.
I almost feel like the writers are having a hard time figuring out where to go with her because now that Laurel kind of went through her issues or
Right,
whatever, I
right.
feel like the same thing with her as well. Like she knows about Oliver, she knows about all of them. Where do you take this character? And the same thing can be said for Thea, because you know, where do you take a character like that from this point on? And that's why I'm kind of sad also that Moira is gone, because yes, I thought her, you know, her race to be mayor and stuff was a little weak, whatnot, whatever. I thought she was still an interesting character and it had a lot of potential, like again with the whole, you know, knowing who Ra's al Ghul was and her dark past, I thought could still offer a lot more to the show. So it's a shame that, you know, they would have gone and
she was the
killed her
one
off.
character I didn't really know what her end game was, especially because
Exactly.
when you drop Ra's al Ghul's name, it's like, that's big. Like, how do you know him?
Well, there were
What's your
so many
association?
moments when she seemed like a genuinely good person, a
Right.
good mother, but then
Just-
she'd turn around and
Right.
stab you in the back.
Yeah.
So, which I thought made her interesting.
Right,
at
the
least,
fact
you
that she knew Oliver and was cool with it and said,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, that was awesome. So that was a great scene. And then, I don't know if everybody caught this, but I thought this was actually kind of cool. You notice that Slade gives Moira a more honorable death.
Yeah.
Because at first when I saw him switch weapons, it didn't click at first. Like he had the gun, he put it away and took out his sword, but his sword is a more, like kind of the whole falling on your sword thing, the more ritualistic type of death. Like he could have shot her in the head, but that would have been too,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
he did acknowledge
pedestrian.
the fact that, you know,
She's
her
a courage,
courage
yeah.
and the fact that, you know, it's a shame you didn't pass it on to your children.
Right, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but yeah, I mean, it just shows again just like the lengths that Moira will go through to
Right,
protect
right,
the kids,
right.
and what Slade will go through just
Right.
to like completely torment Oliver. And he
Right.
did say he's going to give him a slower death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And up until his actual one. So I thought that was really good.
It's good. I think Oliver's going to kill again. Because he did say I would kill. Like I don't think. I honestly hope he does. I don't want Slade. First of all, I don't want Slade to die.
Yeah.
But I kind of hope he does kill again, just because I think it'd be too easy if he was just like, oh, I'm a good person, I'm not gonna kill. Because he's
Yeah.
so angry and so enraged. He killed his
Yeah.
mom. Like he's gonna kill somebody.
Well,
somebody.
Well, here's the thing, and that's a good point, but you think of Batman again. He's
Yeah, that's
just like
true,
Batman.
Batman's
His
true.
parents were murdered.
Yep.
You know, that's his driving force.
Right.
Why he's
Yeah.
waged this war against evil and stuff, but he doesn't kill.
That's
He
true.
doesn't use guns, and I think that kind of shows just the complexity of a character like Oliver to actually deal with something like this, because Slade is pushing him to limits he'd never had to go through before. Right. So the fact that he's dealing with this, and if he still kind of stays on that path of not killing and trying to do something, be more of a noble person and stuff, I think that'd be interesting and kind of cool to see, because again, it's like he is Arrow, he did set out on this mission, he did make this vow to not kill and stuff, and I think it just kind of lessens the character a little bit if he just basically kind of lessens himself to his level and just start killing. So
So we got to get into now, I guess, just our theories. We're going to talk about, we have 3 episodes left. 3 without a break. This is great. The final 3 episodes. This is going to be 23 episode season.
A long season.
That's over 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. My goodness. It feels like, I was telling Mike, I was like, wait, I almost thought this was season 3. Because I'm like, is this season 3?
It feels like it.
Because you watch it from October to May. It's like, man, I mean, hey, not complaining. I like this show, but network television, good Lord. So we have 3 episodes left. This is gonna be a pretty dark ending, I think. We have Sarah going off, possibly visiting Nyssa. Maybe we'll see Al Ghul come back. Maybe we'll see obviously a Deathstroke Oliver confrontation for sure. Ravager, we've already talked about that. She's in the trailer for next week's episode.
Yeah.
She's gonna come into play. So how do you think this is all gonna end? Like who's left standing at the end?
Well, first of all, it's not going to have a happy ending.
No.
I think it's safe to say.
Yeah.
Like you're saying with Slade and stuff, he's too good of a character to kill.
Right.
He's not going anywhere.
Right.
I mean, I think maybe his role might lessen a little bit come next season. You don't want to overuse
I think he's a fan
like
favorite.
that.
Everybody I've heard, or I should say, we've seen in the comments and talked to us, has said they love Manu Bennett, they love his performance. Even people who haven't, like I know you haven't seen Spartacus yet, a lot of people haven't seen Spartacus, but they still say, wow, this guy's good, let me check out his other stuff. Or like people like Manu Bennett. I don't think they'd get rid of him.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
But you don't want to overuse a character like that.
True,
because he has played, well, definitely a
Kinda
bigger
like Loki.
Exactly.
Almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Loki
He's
in
played a
Marvel.
bigger role this season than in season 1. So last season he had a smaller role.
Yeah.
It was a big role, but still smaller. It was just basically, just the flashbacks. This season you get the flashbacks as well as everything he's doing currently.
Right.
So again, going into season 3, you don't want to overuse a character like that, because then people might get tired of him, because there are other villains Oliver needs to take on. So his role will lessen, which is why I think they're just kind of going balls to the wall right now with someone like Slade, and that's a good thing. But again, so I think he's going to be fine. I don't know about Ravager, honestly. I don't know. I think she might be one of those characters. I'm not saying she's going to die at the end of the season, but I think she's definitely a character I could see dying somewhere down the line.
Yeah, because it was kind of upsetting that we didn't get to see a lot of her. Summer Glau, she was gone for so long. So I hope this isn't the last, this is the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And also, we can't forget, we still have Suicide Squad.
Absolutely.
In the trailer, you see more, in that big Suicide Squad trailer, did you see more of Harley Quinn, come out with her pigtails and everything, so we know she's going to be a bigger player. So we got to see some more Suicide Squad.
And that's the thing. Like, how much can? I mean, there's only 3 episodes.
Yeah,
left,
they can only
so
get
how
it
much
right.
can
I think
you
a
get
lot
in
of it's
there?
going to be carryover to season 3.
And that's why I say it's definitely not ending with a happy ending and stuff.
No.
It can't be. First of all, just like, how do you wrap something like that up? You can't. There's
Right.
just so much story to tell.
Right.
And it's so good that I want it to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you still have Brother Blood. I mean, he's kind of right now just kind of a Deathstroke lackey.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see him kind of step up a little bit more.
Right.
I'm sure down the line we will.
Yeah.
We will see that. But yeah, I think, I don't know, is Sarah going to come back? Are we going to see her before
maybe
the
she might be
season's
next
done?
season or at the end of the finale or something.
There's always Huntress floating around.
Huntress is
there.
in prison somewhere.
Laurel's
Laurel's dad's in prison. Everybody's in jail.
Yeah, I feel like right now this show is kind of like up in the air, and in a good way, because I like the fact that I don't know what's coming next.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
do
mean?
too.
Because you've got Thea, you've got Laurel. What's going to happen to Roy?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because as we've seen in these series, especially with Arrow, they adhere to the comics, but they're not following one story.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, Isabel Rochef is the perfect example of that. Summer Glau is a combination of Rose Wilson and Isabel Rochef put together into Ravager, which is cool. So you never know what we're going to see. This series just keeps getting better. This episode was great. An ending I didn't see coming, Michael. I didn't see that coming. Caught us off guard. Made a mediocre episode into a great episode.
Yeah.
If you look at the episode as a whole and pull everything together, I thought it was an excellent episode. So as always, we'd like to hear what you think. You can come find us at thinkhero.com. You can also come check us out on this YouTube channel, Think Hero Pro. Be sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up here. And of course, we'll try to get to your comments as soon as we can. Also, we're on Twitter. I'm at Think Hero, we're all at Think Hero. Dennis, Michael, myself, if you want to chat with us, we can get to you there. Personally, I'm at Griffin DE.
And I'm at Mr. Michael Alexis.
We also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. Be sure to use the social media, spread the word, the arrow of love. We appreciate all your support. Sorry for the belated review last week. We're all just everybody's just busy doing a thing out here. So yeah, I can't wait to see you next week.